Oh, welcome in, guys. We're back live just for a little bit. I want to go over a couple things. I was watching Fox. I was just watching Fox. They had about an hour of panel, FBI lead investigation, this, that, what all, this, that, whatever. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. We're gonna talk here for just a little bit. It's late. The deadline's passed. We covered this a little earlier, but I was watching the panel on Fox, also watching Nancy Grace, also listening to Harvey Levin, and Nancy Grace makes up a good point. Janine, welcome back. We're gonna talk a little bit. I got to tell you, this is so bizarre still. So Nancy Grace brings up an interesting point. Come on in, guys. We're going to talk. As the deadline has passed, most of us know it was a ransom hoax, a distraction. Who is the suspect? Who's involved? Is it Annie? Is it the brother-in-law? Is it the Uber driver? Who is it? And Dan Bongino, who's resigned from FBI director, said something very interesting. We're going to talk about that as the FBI, Nancy Grace talks about the septic tank. I wasn't aware they went back to the septic tank again today. They're looking in that septic tank again. I don't think they're looking for a body. I think they're looking for something. This is now 2 times that we know about the septic tank. Welcome in, Sandra. Now, we were live earlier. Nobody found. And another thing that Dan Bongino said was this. No proof of body. We've been saying that on day 1, day 2, day 3. Well, day 2, when it started coming out, the whole ransom thing. And there's been other ransom cases, like I said earlier. And most of the time with these ransom cases and this kind of stuff, particularly in the United States, it's done pretty quickly. Like 1 day, 2 days, money, Bitcoin. It goes out. I don't think no money on this deadline was sent out. Do you? I don't think any money was paid. Yes or no? I don't think any money was paid to the Ransom Act. Hold on, I'm just going to fix something here. I'm going to bring up. So this guy here, allegedly. So this guy here, the son-in-law, Tommaso. It's just weird. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, how come he's still there if he did it? Again, he's the last one to drop her off. And, I know the FBI are not going to tell us everything, but what in the world? Why aren't they got to be getting close. Last person to drop her off. This guy should be spoken to like every friggin' hour till he's exhausted, until he comes out and just can make a mistake, because there's no doubt in my mind that this guy knows something. I'm not saying he pulled the trigger, and I don't mean the trigger, that kind of trigger, but there's nowhere. Come on, folks. The more this goes on, but this beautiful lady, our deepest prayers. And tonight, I'll move out of the way. We listened to her tonight, very into faith, but my goodness, just different voice tonight. Let me get the septic tank. The septic tank. There's the septic tank right there. They're back to the septic tank. The feds, back to the septic tank again tonight. Hello, Rick. Back at the septic tank. What in the world is bringing them back to the septic tank? What's there? What's in there? What is in there? What are they looking for? What are they looking for? Why are they back again at the septic tank? And I'm going to throw something at you tonight, guys, that's going to blow your mind. And again, when I say this is my opinion and what I think. Okay? It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind just on a thought that I'm back on, because I was watching Fox and it got me all like energy. I got some energy back. And I crossed my mind. You ready? Here we go. The deputy, the sheriff who went to the Arizona State Saturday Arizona State. Are they looking at the sheriff? I know you guys are saying, Sal, have you smoked too many cigars? But listen. He came out. He apologized on how it didn't work out the best. We talked about how he's elderly. Are they looking at him at all? Are they going to go back months, years, and watch Nancy where she went? We know she was in the faith, in church. Was there any involvement? I'm sorry, you got to think outside the box, folks. Let's think outside the box for a second tonight. Come on in. Let's think outside the box. That's Nancy's house. I want you guys to think outside the box. It's time to think outside the box. I think it's time to think outside the box. The fact of the matter is this. The deadline passed. Somebody wrote out a ransom note. They're both professors, teachers, both good with words. Sometimes it's the obvious. I still believe the way, they're teachers and everything like that. And I still don't think FBI is going to be telling us everything. But there's no DNA. No DNA in the house. There's no blood except for Nancy Galtrey, this 84-year-old woman, this beautiful woman, grandma. And that's it. This is so bizarre because, in most cases on kidnapping or there's trace of something, fingerprints. That's why I'm saying it's somebody's very professional. I'm just putting it out there. You got to look at everybody. You got to look at the first responders, the people who did the investigation, the sheriff, everybody at this point. You got to look at all angles. All angles. It's going to go on 10 days. Fox is going to be out there tomorrow. National. I mean, this is crazy. Going on 10 days. How the hell there's no DNA? And the ransom letter, no proof? There would have been proof by now. There would have been some kind of proof. But then again, if you all listen to the family on how they talk between the first interview, the second interview, and now the last one, Savannah was by herself. Savannah was not with Annie. Now, I read a comment. I'm reading a lot of comments that are posting after these lives, and somebody said, well, it's just a distraction because of the ICE. I'm reading all kinds of, everybody's mind's all over the place right now. But once again, what do we know? There's no suspects, right? Or it might be suspects, but there's not enough to bring anybody into custody, right? Nobody yet. They go back to the septic tank now twice, spending hours at the septic tank, looking in the septic tank with all kinds of different devices. They've been back to Nancy Galtrey's house today. The deadline passed for the $6 million in Bitcoin. No money. There's no way. Would you guys send would anybody send? How the hell can you send anything without any proof of life? Unless there was something and they're just, keeping it kind of quiet from the public. I mean, that is possible, I guess. All right. Let me get into some comments right away. The family knows more about it. Absolutely. There's absolutely 100%. I'm sure the families, the sisters, the brothers, they're all kind of, you're never going to hear this, but in their mind, at this point now, day one, maybe they're all at 9-10 days, going on 10 days, they have to be thinking, was it Savannah? Was it the brother? Was it the son-in-law? Was it Annie? Somebody else in the family? They got to be thinking that. The only how they're not thinking that is the FBI have told the family very closely, keep your mouth shut. We're getting very close. We got it down to 2 people, and they're not saying anything, And they're not going to say, well, it's family. That's the only thing I can think of. But Dan Bongino brings up an excellent point. He says this, and he says, he says there's no proof of life, or never was any kind of proof of life. There was no video that we know of, right? That we know of. Unless the authorities have gotten some kind of video. But I don't think any money was sent today at 5 o'clock, which is the deadline. Do you guys think? Yes or no? You think any kind of money was sent to some, we don't even know if it's true? Just send it out there? Just give out the $6 million and we don't even know if it's true? You know, it's not a movie, but we got to think outside the box. And Dan Bongino said that. Dan Bongino was on the panel of Fox. He said, think outside the box. You know, that's a great point. Interesting point, Sandra. Interesting. She could have been gone for months. Yeah, I mean, what we know is, you know, that time thing that she was taken home after dinner. I don't have my notes. They're upstairs, 9:38 at night. I believe it was January 31st. According to the family, Savannah and Annie and the son-in-law, let's see here. You know, Anonymous, great comment. Very good comment, actually. If they send the Bitcoin out, they'll never see it. Yeah, exactly. If there is any kind of Anonymous, it's a good point, because we all know that. What are you going to do? Oh, we got the $6 million. Come and get her. Come and get her. We're out of here. We're going to go. We fled the country. She's at 123 Jones Avenue at a warehouse. Come and get her. Oh, by the way, she's got some food. Let's be honest. What the hell do they think we are? But again, I think they should have a press conference. Not so much because we're all hoping and praying deep down inside. Regardless, I know this is getting a lot of, you know, most of us, if it was our parents, we wouldn't hear much. But regardless, it's a woman. But why aren't they having a press conference and exposing? Because even if the authorities know they got it down to 2 suspects or 3, wouldn't it be better to have a press conference for 20 minutes? Rattle on a little bit? Have the family member watching? And if there was a ransom, wouldn't that help out? Why? Why? No more press conference. I don't get it. I'm not referring to the sheriff, but why isn't the FBI on? Why isn't 1 or 2 detectives? You know, why not have the governor? I don't get it. I don't understand why there's no more press conference. We're not even hearing about a press conference tomorrow. Yeah. Breaking news. They just located her. Watch the news. I haven't heard anything. Yes, that is. Yeah, that was the FBI. Today, back at the house. Absolutely. They're back. They're back at the septic tank. Back at the septic tank right here. There's the septic tank. There is a septic tank right there. Looking in the septic tank. Looking for possible DNA, a ripped shirt, medication. What's in there? What's in the septic tank? Are you going to make me get up now and turn my TV on? It's on CNN, MSNBC right now. Yeah. They probably took her to Mexico. We may never know, Barbara says. Cartel wouldn't have risk. Exactly, Jesus. Yeah, I think what happens is we have a case where a lot of us have watched, you know, these movies, and it's just not like that, you know. Yes, there's been ransoms before, absolutely, and yes, there's been Bitcoin, different situation, hackers and this and that, but I would say 99% of the time, the money transfer, you have some kind of proof of the body or a recording of the body or something with a mask on, and then that money that deadline's usually instantly, like 24 hours. Come on, I've been around, guys. That's instantly. You want your mom back. You want your grandmom back. You want your sister, your husband, in this case, the mom, within 24 hours. I want $6 million. I want $2 million. I want $4 million, whatever it might be. Send it now or else. And that's how it is. And it doesn't end up well. So it's just bullshit. It really is. What's real is we got a woman out there who could be alive somewhere who needs to be back sent home. But unfortunately, the longer this goes, it's not going to end. It's not going to end good. And I think at this point that the family, they say celebration of life. Celebration of life to me is, they're very in their faith. Love to see the body back for we can have some closure. I think that's what they mean by celebration of life on the video we seen Friday and Saturday. When Savannah speaks about that, and I know everybody has their own opinion on this, but clearly a celebration of life means it's a celebration of somebody's life. Whether they died at a young age, older age, we're now a celebration of life. But then today, Savannah says, kind of changed a little bit, almost more relief, like not relief, but like kind of like, but then she comes out and says, we feel that she's alive. Our prayers, very into faith. I'm very into faith and praying, but we also got to treat this and be honest with ourselves that 9 days is not looking good. But she spoke in the sense of, I need the public. I need us. I need the public. I need the national news. I need the local police, the local news, YouTube, Facebook, any state, neighbor states like Las Vegas, New Mexico, California. She didn't say that, but she's speaking. So what changed from celebration of life, where most of us who watched that felt that she knew something that we didn't know, all of a sudden now changed to like being optimistic and being positive. Fabian, high five, fist bump, my friend. If you haven't subscribed to Fabian, go ahead and subscribe to Fabian. Appreciate you being here, Fabian, on this late night. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to cover a second live. We had our first live, and it was amazing. It was going kind of quick, and I said I was going to pack it in, but then I started watching Nancy Grace and then Fox and then a little bit of this, that, whatever, and I said, whoa. I want to talk a little bit. And I'm reading some comments, get a lot of comments, and thank you for the comments. And there's no bad comments, there's all different perspectives. I mean, there's different perspectives between me and the missus. Both of us are kind of, this is just one of those cases that, and thank you, Fabian, for renewing your membership. It's not on notice. But yeah, the FBI was back again. I tell you what I'm thinking, guys. I'm really thinking about Thursday taking a 6-hour drive. I'm really thinking about driving here from Vegas here, when I say here, over to Tucson. I'm thinking about driving there and getting in. I'm real good. I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm bad at some things. But man, I'm good on trying to get information out. And it'd be nice just to talk to some neighbors, get some perspective, even if they don't feel comfortable on the video, show it away. Because sometimes it comes down to us. Now, I know I've been hard on that sheriff, but I smell a rat. I smell a rat, guys. I smell something's not right. Doing well, Fabian. Hope you're doing well, and your parents. Hopefully your father's feeling better without getting into details. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing as good as we could, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, which everybody should be doing, right? Everybody should be living in the moment. You not caring what anybody thinks and of yourself. A little advice, because you see what can happen. You can see what happens. Abductions go so far. For those who are coming in and saying hi, hello, welcome in. If you're first time here, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you. I was going to pack it in tonight, but Dan Bongino, Fox, and Nancy Grace, she's good. She's good. Nancy Grace is pretty good. Welcome in, Tony. What we're talking about is this abduction now. It's almost going on 10 days with the 84-year-old beautiful Nancy Goltry and Savannah. And I got to tell you, another thing we talked about earlier, we're going to talk about it again, is why are they continuing going back to the son-in-law's house at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday, day before the Super Bowl? Why are they continuing to go back twice and coming out with stuff, devices and stuff? Interesting, right? Do you go back twice? That's not the crime scene. That wasn't the crime scene, right? Annie's house, the sister of Savannah, the daughter of Nancy, and the son-in-law, Tommaso. Why would they go back and spend hours, 2 hours, the second time? I'm not sure how long the first time. You know, why would they continue to go back? I don't know. It's so crazy. And then it's so complicated, guys, because then you think, well, okay, if they're involved, allegedly, if they're involved, how the hell could they be next to Savannah? And how could they be that calm? Or are they calm? Are they calm? A lot of, we go back and forth, right, Janine? You know, are they calm? Because you look at them, some viewers from the earlier live and yesterday's live, we've been covering this for a week now. Hello, guys, I'm Sal. Welcome in. Do you think they're suspicious on their emotions and how they're acting and on the videos? I'm not going to show it now, but on the videos together. And today, Savannah's by herself. Whoa, why is she by herself? Now, I know a lot of you, I'll beat you to it. Well, Sal, you're being a little hard. Maybe they're worn out, and Savannah's the only one who has it together. That is true. I smell a rat. I smell something very suspicious, and I'd be taking a look very closely at the surrounding family, the distant relatives, the people that she goes to church with. Wait a minute, Sal, you mean church people? Yeah, why not? People flip at any time. I'd be looking at the church. I'd be going back to every neighborhood house. I don't care if they slept. Hello, FBI. Hey, you just came here. We told you nothing. We want to know more. I'd be up and down the street. And why isn't the dogs, we've seen a couple dogs, why aren't they searching that area? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times, I've said this on a previous live, when these crimes happen, they, more times than none, not all the time, but more times than none, they're really close to the area. A mile, 500 feet, 5 miles, 10 miles, they're normally there. And that makes me think it's there because, you know why? Too clean. Too clean. Only blood outside the porch. And it's Nancy Goltry. That's the only blood. I almost said Nancy Grace. Nancy Goltry. That's the only blood. There's no other blood. And it's a little bit of blood. I mean, it's blood. Blood is blood, but not like massive blood. Nosebleed blood, ear bleed bloods, old people mark bloods like I got, that kind of blood. And yeah, don't make sense. She's in the basement. Do they have a basement? Thank you for bringing it up. I forgot. Gosh darn it, I forgot to see if the house had a basement. I'm sure if it had a basement, they would check. I know in the desert, it's hard to have. I mean, I don't have a basement, but a lot of homes don't. However, that was $1 million home. And by the way, in that neighborhood, she had $1 million home, but the rest are like $2 million, $6 million, high-end $1 million homes. Doesn't matter. I would check each home. Not that they're involved, but just go over and ask them again and again and again. And they probably are. I'm just saying. They probably are. I'm sure they have. But so many things are so confusing to me on this. It's Nancy's blood, they said. Probably no basement. Yeah, I don't think there's a basement. I forgot to look into it. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say no, but I would assume, and if there is, I'm sure. But they did go back to the septic tank and the roof. Excuse me. All right, what we got here? I'll get into some comments real quick. Thank you for the 48 likes. Let's see here. Look, Capano. I think the mother was over there for dinner. I think they said that, but sort of high argument happened, and Savannah hit her and then killed her. Tony. Yeah, about the argument, I heard that too, Tony. I think a lot of us have, but, that's a kind of a hearsay, right? I mean, we're not sure. What we know is, according to the sheriff, well, first he said it was Tommaso, but then he said, he was careful with his words, he said it was a family member. So first he said it was Tommaso. Think about that, folks, real quick, not to make it crazier. First, the sheriff said it was Tommaso, the son-in-law. He's not a suspect. I'm going to make it clear, no one's a suspect. He took her home at around 9:38 p.m., Tucson, Arizona time, and he left. But then he came back, the sheriff, and said a family member took her home. As far as the argument, I've heard that. But we just, how do we know? I mean, how would that get out, Tony? How would that argument, did Savannah say there was an argument, Whiskey Tango? Thank you so much for the roast. So I'm just saying, but I heard that as well. Yeah. Thank you, Whiskey Tango. Yeah. I don't mind some comments and this, that, whatever, and this, that, whatever. Just be careful with the spam. Thank you. Yeah. Who was the family member? Oh, I mean, you're alluding to Tony. Trying to think what you mean. Who was the family member who let that out? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's just sometimes, Tony, to be honest with you, that could be wrong. I'm not just sure that's just somebody putting that out there and then people taking at it. I don't know. I did hear the argument too, but I thought I heard it from a newscast or something like that. What we got here? Here we go. Janice Berry, 7639. I'm going to read your comment, Janice. I think it's a good one. She's not too far away, in my opinion. I look closer at friends at work, exactly. And the two interviews, they look to be staged, not real emotions. Yeah, I agree on both. Janice Berry, I agree on both of that. I do. Okay, let's move on. I really do. I'd be looking at everybody she goes to church with. And for those who want to come in and give it to me, go ahead and give it to me. I go to church. People go to church all the time. People go there because they have faith to be positive. They have an illness, get closer to God, for sick relatives. And I'm just saying, but then again, people, something snaps, It's a real deal. I'd be looking at all the people. I would go back. I mean, I'm sure they already have. They're not going to tell us. I'm sure I'd go back 5 years, 10 years. Boyfriends. She's 84. Women have boyfriends at 84. Women have boyfriends at 74. Never too old to have a companionship, right? I'd go back. I'd go look at anybody. I'd go look at the dating. And a lot of you are going to be laughing at me. That's fine. I'd go back at dating 10 years ago. This is serious, guys. Deadline passes. Ransom. No proof of life. Come on. No proof of life. It's a beautiful lady. A beautiful lady. It really is. Looks a lot younger than she is. Hello, guys. I'm Sal. Come on in. Let's talk a little bit. What's your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think actually happened? Who's the suspects or who's the suspect? Is there two? Is there three? Was there a ransom note? We know there's a ransom note. TMZ's not lying. News channel. I'm not saying they're lying at all. That's real. But give me a break. There's no kidnappers. Not at all. All right. What we got over here? Yeah. Never mind. Let's see here. Yeah. Capture Danny. I'm going to read your message. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I say it again, guys. When if somebody did this, and it could be as far as ransom. Normally things like this happen in 24, 48 hours, right? Normally the body is you have a recording of 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I think we're giving them too much credit, that, oh, they're perfect. It's not perfect. Not perfect. There's no way in hell. Now I'm going to give you my final thought in a little bit, what I think actually happened. They torture for a week. It's possible. I'm not gonna disagree, but you're right. But why not any kind of proof? No proof. No proof that we know of. That the public knows of, and I'm pretty confident they would come out and say proof for one big reason. Once they say that, they got the suspects. I still think there's two. Either way, they would get the attention of the kidnappers if there was she being held somewhere in a storage room, a warehouse. It's not a hotel. A broken down shed. It's not a hotel, guys. There would be some kind of proof. So now the authorities and FBI, who are very smart, at least some are, would say, okay, now we agitate the kidnappers outside the box, and now they respond with another letter to somebody, not TMZ, not to the local news channel, but maybe to a family member, and then that would set them up. So I believe they would come out and tell us that. They're not going to tell us if there's any clues on a family member, because they can't. It would be stupid. It would just ruin the case when you have the DA involved, because they will get caught. If they're watching this, you will get caught. For them to be thinking they're not going to get caught, they're going to get caught. So, but and they're not going to tell us if they investigated the Uber driver, for an example, or they have the Uber driver. They're not going to tell us all that. They're just going to tell us they've talked to everybody, and they're going to continue to say no suspects. But we're not stupid. It's public streets. The news outlets are there. Independent journalists are there. They're allowed on the street. They have cameras. We have cell phones. We see that they've been back multiple times at Nancy's house. They've been back 2 times at Annie's house and the son-in-law. They've been back at night, in the day. We're not stupid. So based on that, that should give us a little bit more information. And we haven't heard of any more press conference. Somebody says they're not going to catch them. They don't even know where the server is. Thank you for your comment. The son-in-law worked for Bill Clinton. I heard that too. But that could be true, probably true. But that doesn't tell us too much on that. And I know where you're going with this. I'm not gonna. I know where you're going with this. I think. Anyhow, let's see here. But good comment. Thanks for bringing it up. Actually, when is the guy in New York City crazy? Wait, when a guy in New York City went crazy and was stabbing people. Louisiana. Oh no, hold on. With the knife, Savannah's daughter was going to school. Oh, this is a good comment. About the same time, I think she attract bad stuff. Carol Harris, 2357. Great comment. Carol, great comment. The guy in New York City went to crazy. Was that? Carol, and I didn't know that story, Carol. So thank you. But I did say this in my previous earlier live. I'm sure I thought about this, that, it's getting late. Savannah. Almost forgot her name. Savannah. She worked for CBS for many years. I don't know how many years. And when you're in public, when you're a journalist, when you're in the news, Don't matter what side you are, Democrat, Republican, what you talk, whether it's Larry King or to today, Hannity, and all of them, Anderson Cooper. When you're on the news, particularly these days, or even YouTube, the Joe Rogans, even myself, some people are going to enjoy it. Some people are going to tune in because they disagree. Some are, and same thing with her. And if she covered a story like what you're alluding to, Carol, I think it was, I forgot your name. Was it Carol? I think it was Carol. How about the stabbing in your head? When you cover these stories, I think it was Carol. When you cover these stories, we don't know 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, that the story that you told, if it brought out something, brought somebody to justice, or whatever it might be, that somebody turns and does the unthinkable and takes a loved one. In this case, when I say take, I'm not saying like she's unalive yet, but we'll do the unthinkable and take her, kidnap her. So yeah, I'm sure they're looking into that as well. It's a big boy. The FBI is earning their money. Let's see here. Well, Mando, first of all, appreciate your comment. If it's annoying, there's a lot of different channels you can watch. I was thinking about Matt. Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. Good comment. Good comment. Yeah. I'm still looking at this guy right here. This guy here with the gray goatee here. The son-in-law. I'm looking. I'm all eyes on him. I'm all eyes on him. On him. Tommaso. I'm looking at him. Every day. Every hour. Allegedly. If indeed he was the last person to take her home after dinner, sorry. All eyes on you, my friend. We're looking at you. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at him. I don't know what he looks like, Tony, but I can tell you this. He's been quiet. And it doesn't mean he's guilty, by the way. Just because I say he's quiet, I'm just saying he's been quiet. But he's also been cooperating with the FBI, and he's also been, helping out. I believe he was a history teacher. Could be good with words, right? Teachers are really good with grammar. They're really good on spelling from beginning to the middle to the end. Did he write the letter? Did he write the letter? Did this man here with that smile next to the mother-in-law, did he actually write the letter and send it to TMZ? And did he write the other letter and send it by mail or text message? By mail to that local news outlet, and I forget the name. Was he the one to do it and have the balls to have dinner for 9 days, be close with them? Could he possibly be that evil? Yes or no in the chat. Could he be that type of, could he carry himself night after night and go to bed with his wife? Assuming, allegedly, if he's a suspect. Let me make it clear. No, there's no suspects right now. I hear some yeses and a no. And then John, welcome in, John. It's him. John said it's him. And why no lie detector tests? Or maybe they have. We haven't heard about it. Not that all lie detector tests are come out accurate, right? I'm just saying. It's worth a shot, and they probably already have. We're just not hearing about it. We're not hearing much about it right now. But it is kind of bizarre. I mean, and I mean, once you start following this, you're saying, wow, this is a 84-year-old woman. I can tell you this, guys. I would say I'm 99.9%. It's not this beautiful. It's not her. It's not this. It's not the grandmom. It's not the senior. It's not the mom. You know. Let's see here. Yeah. What's that, David? Reading David's message. Yeah. Barbara says we may never know where she is. Could be one of those cold cases, right? God, I hope not. I hope not. Excuse me. Amen. Yeah, it's him. There he is. Right there. When I say him, that's the son-in-law. I'm not saying he's a suspect. He very well could be innocent. He very well could be innocent. Just had some bad luck. He was the last person to see her. Things like that happens, and it turns out to be fill in the blanks. It turns out to be fill in the blanks. Who else? Who else could it be? Is it Savannah? Could it be Savannah? Could it be her? She looks innocent. I'm sure they're not sleeping much. By the way, I was going to say something real quick. If it's not the family, guys, assuming it's not the family, I hope the best for the family. I know it's very hard to go to sleep, but, you know, the best thing they can possibly do is try to sleep. Oh, easy for you to say, I went through similar situation, losing a brother, this, that, whatever. I'm sure a lot of us been in different situations. You got to sleep and take, assuming it's not the family, you hope that they try to get something to eat. You got to go on. It's very important. Otherwise, they're not going to be any good for themselves and their families and their kids. I think they have kids. So hopefully they're trying to sleep a little bit, assuming it's not in the family members. I don't know, but you got to be looking at them. Let's see here. Burglar. John, you think so? Somebody said a home invasion, but here's the deal, John. Home invasion, I would think there'd be stuff that went through. There'd be some DNA of some broken glass, something like that. My quick thoughts, but you. A lot of wildfire, maybe. Read your comment here, Amanda. So, yeah, I mean, and again, it's very dark. It's almost like a perfect area to do a crime because here, again, there's no street lights. There was no street lights. And if you don't have a moon, it's really, really dark, like extremely dark. Like here I am in my house. Well, I mean, you have one street light and it's dark. I mean, I got the porch light on. You guys know it's dark. With no street lights and $1 million homes, they're not real close together. Like in my neighborhood, they're spread out. So again, it's somebody who knows the neighborhood. This is something that somebody didn't wake up the night before, a week before, or even a month before. In my view, it's somebody who studied this for a couple months. Why didn't she have a helper? She's 84. I agree with that comment. A caregiver. I mean, she wasn't in the best of health, although I think she can move around pretty good, but heart problems. Great, a good comment. Very good comment. Interesting. It was a full moon that night. Oh, was it? What's going on, Boston? Thank you, Robert. I was in Boston. I'm not just saying this, Robert. The people, I felt very welcome. Okay? You know, I lived in Philly. You don't get that in Philly. Very welcome, good food. lobster rolls, from the hospitality to the coffee to the Dunkin' Donuts, Boston. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you made a comment. Crystal, welcome in, Crystal. Yeah, I was going to pack it in, and I was watching the panel on Fox, and then I was listening to Nancy Grace, and it got me fired up. I said, I'm going to come back on live and express my thoughts real quick. So, yes, Robert. Yeah, let me just show you. So look, here we go. So I'm in my backyard. I live in the desert, Vegas. So I mean, look, this is with street lights. So you're in a neighborhood. I mean, look how dark. This is dark, and I have street lights. So I mean, that neighborhood, folks. Those homes are not close together, okay? Like regular homes in Vegas, the homes are close together. Now back east, the homes are spread out. But in Tucson, Arizona, it was like the perfect, so to speak, storm. No street lights. Assuming it was, I mean, not assuming, it was dark. We were watching JLR and other YouTube journalists there, and they were showing us how dark it is. Once that sun goes behind the mountains, within minutes or an hour, it's dark. Now, this happened at about 2:30 in the morning. That's dark. Kind of funny, Teddy Santana. Go back to sleep. You're not going to sleep listening to me, I can tell you that. Kind of funny. It's Bill across the street. Lots of snakes, scorpions. We've seen a scorpion live today on the video. Reading Amanda's comment. Yeah, so that's it. Again, guys, I know it sounds very bizarre, and I would definitely be looking at the sheriff too. Looking to see if there's any kind of a mysterious relationship between them. I don't know how old the sheriff is. At this point, what do you got to lose? I'm sure the FBI is looking at everything, because it was very sloppy from the beginning from the sheriff. Did they find her? No. Shirley, how are you? No. Nope, they've been there, I'm sure as we speak. And that's another thing. I think it's time that they bring out the public's help. I think they bring out the what do you call them? The bloodhounds? Are they called bloodhounds? What do they call? Bring out the dogs. Bring out everybody. Everybody tomorrow, morning to night. Bring them out. 2 miles, 3 miles. You go that way. You go that way. Any volunteers? Have your cell phone charged. We appreciate it. Big rewards. I do it for free. Seriously, but whatever. People, when it comes to and help, start looking. As far as I know, we see the local media and some YouTubers there. They're doing a great job there, by the way. They're not searching. Search. Or they still believe it's a ransom. Yeah, no, none of that. I mean, come on. Search all over. Neighbor's house, backyards, in the shed, on their roofs. Boots on the ground. Walk through the neighbor's yard. Exactly, David. Go walk through the neighbor's yards. Hello, FBI. Weren't you guys here? Yep, we're here again. Sorry. We're here to walk around your house. Go through the cactus. Go through the Joshua trees. Go through all those trees, Look for clues. Was she in her right mind? Great comment. Fantastic comment. That's why I love doing these lives, really. Was she in her right mind? Like, as far as I'm concerned, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. We'll go a little bit more. She had no dementia or Alzheimer's. Her health was relatively, good as far as, well, she had a pacemaker and heart medicine, but as far as her mind, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Medication can change your mind. You're getting old. Yeah, you got to be thinking. I'm looking away, but I'm thinking what you said. State of mind as far as, yeah, I mean, people take medication. Sometimes you take too much medication. I just lost, my mom was taking different medication. She had a caregiver, and even, so yeah, people get on different medications. They take it twice. I mean, it can happen to any of us, right? Yeah, I'm still thinking about that, right? So, well, we know she didn't walk out. Assuming the investigation is correct, as far as we know, she didn't just like walk out. Or could she have walked out? Gotcha. No proof of life. That's called thinking outside the box, my friend. That's called thinking outside the box. That's a detective on here, huh? I'm just kidding. Interesting. No payment was made. I don't feel as a ransom. Thinking outside the box. That's what that comment was. That's a good comment. Deadline pass. Suspects, who are they? According to the authorities, no suspects. Lagan, thank you. Hey, thank you for your comment on the shorts. I appreciate all your love and support. Hey, by the way, guys, I just want to throw out before we depart ways for tonight anyhow. Thank you so much for supporting the homeless shorts. We do have so many people out there in dire straits, and we help out in Las Vegas, in New Jersey, the homeless people. Homeless, they're desperate. Sal, I'm going into the VA tomorrow to have my knee fixed, drained. It's actually a good feeling. I had mine, Crystal. I think I went. It's weird. Sure, Sal, you're making me feel good. I don't know if you had it done, but it's like and then like oh, anyhow. It's getting late, guys. You know what I mean. But yeah, it's like it goes in there, and then a relief of the fluid. There was proof of life. Her blood on the steps, Sandra. There was proof of the life. Her blood on the steps. Absolutely. Her blood, as Teddy says, safe surgery. Very nice, Teddy Santana. Very nice to say that to Crystal. We appreciate that on behalf of Crystal and our super moderator and sponsorship. Having it done again. I had mine done once. So yeah, I've been doing it now for helping the homeless now for about 3.5 years. And I started to make homeless awareness on YouTube, and got a lot of support from everybody on here, and a lot of support from our public here in Las Vegas, and more YouTubers now are doing just as good, if not better, and bringing homeless awareness and waking up the government, which both sides of the aisle need to do better. Both sides need to step in and help mental illness. We got to help that, period, so we don't have these craziness. We're always going to have craziness, unfortunately, but we can help in so many ways. Sandra says, you read her message there, Crystal. I go to the Central Church in Henderson. Shout out to Henderson. Yep, 25 years ago, Teddy. That was my first place I lived. I lived there for 1 year in Henderson, close by to the beautiful Sunset Station Casino. Break the cycle of generation abuse. Yep, I lived there for a year, right close to Whitney Ranch Drive there. Every now and then I drive by. Been 20, what did I say, 25? Whew, it's getting late, 26 years ago. Thanks, Frank. Good man, Frank. I'm glad you do that. All right, guys. So I think it's that time, but yeah, I just wanted to come on and again, deadline passed, no proof of life. Um, it's time to search, and unless the police and the authorities want to keep things quiet, which they should, but I think they're due for a press conference. Not because we really care, but I think they should just. It would help the situation. I think it would. It can't hurt. I don't think how it can hurt. You definitely have a press conference, at least with the FBI. I think it's that. It's the time now. It's going on 10 days, and again, we don't want this to be unsolved in one of those cold cases and let these bad guys get away with it. Nobody gets away with anything, right? Eventually they get caught. My pleasure, Amanda. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate your support on here on this live. Once again, all new subscribers, like and subscribe. We appreciate having you on here. We are live every day, sometimes 2 lives. Had a little bit of energy. Had a Red Bull. I'm only kidding. I just got like, it gets to me, and once again, guys, there's 103 on here. I'll beat everybody to it. And I know somebody said today, if it was my black grandmom, if it was my mom or my grandmom, I get it. And they're all right. Most of us on here, 122, there's like 900 of us on here last live. Million people, most people are not going to get all this. But nonetheless, we got to remember, still a human being out there. This poor woman didn't ask for this. She was packing it up for the night to enjoy a TV show after a dinner with the family and her daughter. And then this happens at, 2:30 in the morning. The unthinkable happens. I mean, think about it, guys. She goes home. She has a good dinner. She's 84 years old. And on January 31st, enjoying the rest of her life. Worked her whole life, and again, yeah, maybe she should have had a caregiver, this, that, whatever. But, again, it's what it is. It's out there. And we pray. Prayers are strong. Prayers are very strong. However, we also got to be realistic on this. And it's a lot of days that went by. And it gets harder and tougher each day as I'm sure the FBI is doing everything they can. But on behalf of my family, and I'm sure all your families and all of us on here, our deepest thoughts, and pray. If you believe in prayers, anything's possible. They can find her alive tomorrow. That'd be a beautiful story. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Whoever, they found her, and she's back with the family. It would be an amazing story. It would be one of those lifetime events that, something bad happened, and then she was brought back with little and much harm, and but I hope so. I really do. But I also want to be real, and there's also that possibility that this woman's not with us anymore, and it's a shame for somebody to go this low life to do this. But again, guys, if you missed the live earlier, I'm going to say it one last time. Money, money, money is the evil, and it very well comes down to sometimes somebody very close to the family, or if not the family. Money can do some crazy things, even lead to somebody being unalive. With that said, hey Todd, something's fishy. I'll read a couple more real quick here. Couple more. Susan, thank you for your comments and letting us know you're on here. Sandra, once again, thank you for your membership and all your great comments and your help on this channel. Yeah, we need happy news. Don't we need happy news for a change real quick before I get off? Wouldn't it be nice to have some happy news instead of all this chaos that's going on in the world without getting into it too much because it's too late? Wouldn't it be great to see something nice to happen like that, The love of cash is evil. Yes, there you go. Thank you. 10-inch 65. Yeah. The love of cash is evil. So true. Yeah. Thank you, Janine. What's up, Cooper? Loyal subscriber here. Hope I didn't embarrass you. Hope good to see you. Hope you're doing well, you and your family. We're at the tail end of a live here. Once again, we've been following this Nancy Goltry case, and along with our moderator Janine and Crystal and many others on here, been wrapped into this, and I think a lot of people are. A lot of people. I think most of us with a heart and a pulse are hoping for the best. But at the same time, you know, you got to be realistic with this. So, hope everything's good with you, Cooper. All right. Any more comments before we sign off, guys? Let's see. Did I mention everything I wanted to say? I think I did. Yeah. It was nice to hear Dan Bongino today. Say what you want. The guy is very smart and, you know, worked for the FBI. So it was, if you haven't heard he was amazing what he said, thinking outside the box. So thank you, Cooper. I will. You too. Waiting on Waltz's hearing tomorrow. Oh, Sandra, thanks. I'm so wrapped into this and a situation at work and homeless. Thank you. I really mean that. That's right. Tomorrow. High five, fist bump. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We'd be covering that a whole lot. And then, you know, I kind of got wrapped into this. So what's up, Ben? Just talking about the Nancy Goltry and time expired, suspects, this, that, whatever, the whole case. So thanks, Cooper. Appreciate that bronze medal. Got a couple of those tonight. Got a couple bronze medals tonight. Speaking of bronze, anybody watch? So yeah, real quickly, guys, I gotta, you know what? It's funny. I do want to watch about 30 minutes of Olympics before I go to bed, just to tune in, support United States of America. I know a lot of people might not be watching for whatever reason, but thank you, Sandra, for bringing that up with the hearing tomorrow. Appreciate it. All right, so let me just check a couple things on here. Once again, thank you, moderators, for being on these two lives tonight. I appreciate Janine, Crystal, Fabian was on here. Certainly Cooper just stopped in, and Mike earlier, and Maribel, and the list continues. And we appreciate it. We'll stay tuned and cover this. Hey, thank you. Thank you for loving my streams. Thank you. Appreciate it. I really do, guys. I mean, I probably don't say it enough, but again, if it wasn't for you guys, then I'm not here. So thank you. Ben says, I watched the Clown halftime Super Bowl. Ben. All right, 84 likes on a live like this. God bless. Thank you. When I say a live like this, a late night live or late for me, 2 lives. All right, so guys, I think it's that time. I'll give everybody about a minute for those who just stopped in. I stayed a little longer because our loyal subscriber and big supporter, Cooper, came on, and a couple other names. So I stay live purposely for them. I'll give everybody a few minutes to say their goodnights. For those who are chatting among each other, I always like to do that. Sometimes I forget. They lost a lot of fans in the NFL. Yeah. All right. Oh, one thing on the NFL. I always normally make about $150 on these prop bets. First time ever. Don't feel sorry for me. That's why I don't gamble, guys. I know. I mean, I was playing with their money. First time ever. I think I only walked away with a few bucks on there. So for me, it was kind of a boring game. Unless you were a Seattle Seahawks fan, it was a great game. But as far as betting aspects, it was kind of not as good as I've done before. And it wasn't the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. They won. They're the Super Bowl champs. Good for them and their fan base. So as far as the halftime, I was curious, so I did tune in. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but I will get into that tomorrow a little bit. All right. All right, guys. I think I said goodbye and read majority of the comments. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, we appreciate it. We will be live again. I'm gonna stay tuned to this very close. There is a chance. There is a chance, guys. Because it's only 6-hour drive, that I might drive there. I would love the support, guys, when I'm there. If I go, I haven't decided yet. I'm going to decide tomorrow. That's funny, Ben. I will. Yeah, so there's a chance, guys, that not tomorrow, but by the end of the week, you might see me there in front of the house. If this is still ongoing, which I think. So I would appreciate it if I go, if I can talk my wife in and into going with me. If not, I might still go by myself. And if I can work it out with my schedule, because I am still working, I might just go there and raise some hell there. You know what I mean? Not raise hell, but maybe sometimes I have that way. I with some of the meetings I go into here and working with some of the city people there. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of people there already, sometimes too many people. But if I do go, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, guys. Prayers with Nancy. Prayers with our nation. Prayers with you and your family. God bless, guys. I'll see you in the next live. Take care. Oh, great comment at the end. I'm glad I looked at that. Hey, Australia, thank you. Good comment. Actually, a great comment. I'm looking at it from Australia. Some real good comments tonight. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. Stuff I didn't think of. Take care. That was a great comment. A really good comment.